Hi, everybody. Hi, everybody. See a lot of familiar names out there. Give some shout outs. There's Dan. Hi, Dan. How's it going? Got some new folks. Hi, everybody. I'm just going to play a little bit more on my clarinet. I'm doing great. Thanks, Slowpoke. There's Lucy. Hi, Lucy. So while we're waiting, anybody recognize this music that's in the background? I'm going to answer your questions too. I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. Oh, I do have my trombone. Yeah, Dan got it. It is Old Town Road. I had a lot of you guys asking me about this song last week. So I have the music here on YouTube, and I'll show you. Let me get it here. Play it again. So all I did was I looked up the background music on YouTube, just like Old Town Road, actually the karaoke track, and I figured it out for you. So I'll show you how to play that on some different instruments today. Welcome into the live stream. I wanted to talk about a couple things today. Got some great questions coming through. Well, before we start, let's not get ahead of ourselves. I want to welcome in, we have Dennis back on the line again this week. Hi, Dennis.
Hey, Steve. How you doing?
Doing great. Very happy to have Dennis here answering or helping us check out your questions and questions that I miss. Dennis is going to pick those out. We also have my Uncle Joe here, who's in the chat room, helping us keep things moving in the chat room. So, first thing I wanted to talk about is mouthpiece pitches. X-Gamer, I do have my oboe today. I want to talk just for a second about the mouthpiece pitch. So, do you guys ever practice playing your instrument and just making sure that you get the right the right sound out of your mouthpiece? So, for example, on a clarinet, right? Any clarinet players out there? Here's a clarinet. So for clarinet, you want to make sure you're getting the right embouchure by playing just your clarinet mouthpiece and barrel. Does anyone know what note this should match on the piano? Or, yeah, if you have a piano or if you have someone playing the flute, what note should match if you're playing your mouthpiece and your barrel in the clarinet? Does anyone know? Here it is. So actually, no one got the right answer yet. It's not a C. X-Gamer got close. It's not an F, it's an I Love Cats. It actually should be an F sharp or on the piano. So an F sharp. So it should sound like this. So that helps you know if your embouchure is set correctly. So if you have like a sort of a weaker sound or like a lower sound, that means your muscles aren't set correctly. So you want to go for this F sharp. Does anyone know what the note should be on the flute? So if you're holding your flute head joint and you put your hand on the end, does anyone know what note this should be when you play? It should be an A. So you check that with a piano. How about alto sax? How about alto sax, mouthpiece, and neck? This should actually be an A flat or a G sharp. So that's what you want to go for when you're playing the alto. I also have my tenor here. There's my tenor sax. So that is, I'm getting an E on mine. Somewhere around an E is you want to go for a tenor sax. And then of course, if you play a brass instrument, what you mainly want to do, here's my trumpet mouthpiece, and here's my French horn mouthpiece, and here's my trombone mouthpiece. Anyone out there play a brass instrument? Here is our French horn. Basically, all you want to do for these is you want to try to match a pitch like a C to a G on the piano. So here's C, da da. So here's my French horn mouthpiece. That's C to G on trumpet. And then trombone is going to be an octave lower. This is also the same for baritone euphonium. And you want to do the same thing on tuba too, if you play tuba. All right, so that's my little chat. Oh, one more thing. Someone asked me if I had my oboe today. Here's my oboe reed. So if you're crowing on when you play your oboe reed just by itself, it's called a crow. So when you do that, you can really get lots of range. What you want to go for is about a B or a C. There's a B. Someone try to match B. So you're trying to try to keep it steady on one pitch. That's a B on my oboe reed. All right, so that's great practice for making sure your embouchure is set. Dennis, is there a good question coming through that I should jump to right now?
Yes, there is. This is a general question, but I thought it's really apropos at this point. Tips for joining the band in the fall. I guess these are like middle school to high school or grade school to middle school. What are some tips for people, what they should be doing over the summer to improve their chances in the fall? Okay,
tips for joining the band in the fall. First, you should talk to the band director and find out what you need to do. Just let your band director know so they know to expect you in the fall. Find out if there's any paperwork you need to do or how you're going to get your instrument. Some schools will let you borrow an instrument from the school itself. Some schools you have to rent your own instrument. So you have to ask the band director how that works. And then if you can actually get your instrument early, if your band sometimes the band director will want you to wait until beginner lessons so they can show you the right way to do it. But if you can take lessons in the summer with a professional music teacher, what you don't want to do is just get your instrument early and start messing with it without a teacher's guidance, because you might make a mistake, you might accidentally damage something on your instrument. So you want to get a music teacher to help you and get some practice in over the summer. So that's my recommendation. Talk to your band director and find out if they have any specific advice for you over the summer, but that's my advice. I saw someone who really wants to know, all right, the Summer Salting Sisters really wants to know which instrument I learned first. All right, here's the instrument I learned first, right here. Here's my clarinet. There's my mouthpiece. So the first instrument I learned was clarinet, and I was about 11 years old, 11 years old. And then in high school, I added saxophone. So I played saxophone and clarinet starting in high school. Yeah, Autumn said same here. Cool. Dennis, another question?
Yeah, somebody, it's YAY, I believe is somebody from Britain, was how to get to grade 5 in 2 years so he can play for the RAF band.
Oh, so I believe in the UK or in Britain, they've got specific benchmarks for levels of achievement on an instrument. So there's level 1, level 2, level 3. And if the question was how to get to level 5 in what? How many?
2 years.
2 years? You know, I mean, the simple answer to that is practice spend as much time practicing as you can. There's really no secret to how to get better. It's practicing as much as you can every day, and then but also practicing the right way. So things about practicing that are important are make sure you have a teacher who's guiding you, to check in with the teacher. Make sure you are listening to examples of what it's supposed to sound like. If there's a piece of music you're learning, you should check out recordings of professional musicians playing it so you can copy their sound and the way they play things. And you should be working with a metronome. So the golden rule of practicing is use a metronome and go super slow at first with a steady beat and make sure you're doing everything correctly with your rhythms. And then as you play a bit of your music successfully, if you play it successfully 3 times in a row, you can increase the tempo by a few clicks. And you just work your way through the difficult passages like that. So that's my number one answer is practice, 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 like that.
Steve, I love cats has a question that they're dying to have answered. It was, what happens when a clarinet gets stuck together?
You know, that happened to me. I love cats. Your instrument, your clarinet got stuck together. Is it? Well, my first question is it a wood clarinet? Because the wood can expand and contract with the temperature. That's why we have to be really careful if you have a wood clarinet that you don't leave it out in the freezing cold. You don't leave it in your car because so I Love Cats says it is a wood clarinet. So this actually happened to me last year. I have a Yamaha wood clarinet and it was just stuck. I couldn't get it apart. So one of my friends who's a repair person said, what you do is you can put it in actually the fridge for a few minutes, because what that does is it contracts, so it contracts the wood, and then don't leave it in there for a long time. And you might want to check with your music teacher, but it worked for me. When I took it back out, I was able to get it apart. Now, if you can't get it apart, you don't want to grab it too hard. You might break something, so you could bring it to a repair shop. Okay. Good question. So, let's see here. I see some requests to play. You know, let me tell you guys, I'm going to play in just a few minutes. I'm going to show you a little bit about Old Town Road, because actually that's it's a really catchy song, and it's actually fairly easy to play. It's only like 6 notes. So first I want to tell you guys about something really fun I did this weekend. If you guys if you look over here, here's see Dr. Selfridge on Instagram. If you follow me on Instagram, actually if you follow me on Instagram, it'll pop up on my phone. I'll give you a shout out right now. I have some videos of a concert I played Friday night. So Friday night, I played a special concert with some friends of mine. The whole concert was music of Billy Joel. Now some of you might be younger, you might not necessarily know who Billy Joel is, but he's a very famous musician who wrote a ton of amazing songs, and he's a piano player. So we played an all Billy Joel tribute concert. Thank you to Veer Patel for following me on Instagram. We played an all Billy Joel concert, like Piano Man, Kennedy, thank you. Oh wow, a lot of you guys are adding me, thank you. Brad, don't sleep, thank you. So there's a couple of videos on there of me playing with this band Friday night. Jeff Goldblum, thanks for following me. It was just an awesome concert, so check it out, and maybe I'll put a few more videos up too. So that was my Friday night. Now, X Gamer, thank you, X Gamer. Oh, a lot of you guys, thank you for following me. Jim, or JM, not Jim. Cat Queen, thank you for following me. Yeah, check out my videos. Let me know what you think. So now I'm going to show you some of Old Town Road. Okay, thank you, Mariah. I'll do it on, let's see. Why don't you guys vote which instrument I should do Old Town Road on first? Einstein wants me to play oboe. We got some people. Taco Cat wants me to do sax. Another vote for sax, flute. Okay, we got 3 saxophones checking in first. So I'm going to do saxophone first. Okay. Now the thing about Old Town Road is, all right. Here's the thing with playing songs off like that are popular today. A lot of times, songs that are popular nowadays are written in scales that are a little tricky for band instruments. Like when you play a band instrument, we like to play in concert B flat, like a G scale for saxophone. But pop songs tend to be in sharp keys, like E or C sharp and things like that. So this song, Old Town Road, is in, let me play it here. Do I have sound yet? So, yeah. So this song is in A flat minor, which is kind of unusual. But on saxophone, we're going to play it in F minor. So it's F, A flat, B flat, C, and you start on the C, and you go. I'll show you here. That's only 5 notes. So I'm going to play it with the background music, okay? Here it is. You hear that? So that's the main part of it, right? There's only 5 notes in it. So even though the notes are tricky, I think you can do it. We'll do it on clarinet next, okay? Yeah, someone suggested you can transpose the song, and sometimes I do that for my videos. But I also figured sometimes you guys like to play along. Sometimes I figure you guys like to play along with the actual music, and so if it's doable in the original key, I teach it to you in the original key. So here it is on clarinet. For clarinet, A flat minor is B flat minor. So it's this. B flat, D flat, E flat, F. And we start on F. Or actually start on B flat. So that's it on clarinet. I'll put it with the music. It's faster. There you go. So that scale is basically based on a minor pentatonic scale. Thank you very much, guys. I'll do it also on flute. All right, so here it is on flute. So for flute, you do A flat, B flat, C. No. A flat, B flat, and then B. It's like C flat, D flat, E flat. I'm going to answer, Dennis, remind me, I'm going to answer that stuck trumpet mouthpiece question in a minute.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, I got the notes wrong. A flat, B, D flat, E flat. Oh. So you can see it's actually a pretty simple song. Only 5 notes. All right, so let's get to the stuck mouthpiece question. If your mouthpiece is stuck, you should bring it to your band director or bring it to a music teacher, because what you don't want to do with a stuck mouthpiece is don't let your parents use any kind of tools or a wrench or anything or pliers. you want to bring it to a music teacher, there's a special tool called a mouthpiece puller. So bring it to your teacher. That's basically what you should do. I see a lot of people requesting, you guys really want to hear Pink Panther. I'm always amazed by that, Dennis. It seems like that song is just still...
Oh, it's all over here.
I know. Okay, so I'll play Pink Panther. What instrument were they asking for? They're asking for a flute? Here's flute and sax?
Yeah.
All right. Here's Pink Panther on flute. I learned, Summer Salting asked me when did I learn flute. I learned flute. I started practicing flute in college because I wanted to start to get good at all the instruments. So I learned flute. I started practicing flute in college. All right, here we go. Pink Panther. Let's do it. I gotta pick a key. I'm gonna do it in this key, D minor. There's the Pink Panther on flute. There you go. Einstein is asking me what key is the original song in. I think it's originally in maybe E minor. I'm not sure. I could research that. Let's see here. Pink Panther theme. I think it's D minor or E minor. Here we go, let's check it out. We're going to listen to it together. This is the original theme. Ba-dum, ba-dum. Yep, E minor. Yeah, E minor. Anyone know what instrument that is? Anyone know what the original instrument for Pink Panther is? I have one here. Yeah, it's a tenor. I'll play it on tenor. I'll play it on tenor in the original key, okay? And then Dennis, I'm going to be looking for another question. So,
okay.
If you see a good one. So here's the original key. So there's the original key. All right, Dennis, how about another question?
Somebody's asking, how difficult is it to switch from clarinet to French horn?
Huh.
There's somebody else. You can combine this. Another person wanted to know the French horn to oboe.
French horn to oboe. Okay, and then there's another question I've seen a couple times. How do you make high flute notes more quiet? I'm going to answer that one too.
I got that.
So it was, what, switching from clarinet to French horn? And do you remember the other one?
An English horn to oboe.
Okay, so one of those is easier than the other. Like switching from English horn to the oboe is a much more easy transition because oboe and English horn, like here's an oboe, right? An English horn is just like the oboe's older sibling. It's like the big brother. So an English horn is a bigger version of an oboe. The keys are very similar. The embouchure is very similar. So switching from English horn to oboe and vice versa is pretty standard. Now, the other question was switching from clarinet to French horn. I think anytime a student wants to switch to French horn, we as band directors, we love that because we tend to not have enough French horn players. We always want to have more horn players because they're such an important part of the band, but you tend to get fewer kids signing up for horn. So if your director is asking you to switch from clarinet to French horn, that's fantastic. It's just a little bit trickier because the mouthpiece is different. So you're going from, if you're going from clarinet, you're on a woodwind, which is bottom lip over the teeth, top teeth. And then you're going to horn, where you're doing an M, and you're buzzing. So it's a different thing, but if you practice, you should be able to do it. It shouldn't be too much of a problem. Now my other question that I wanted to answer was how to play high notes quieter on the flute. And then Baker Street on the alto sax. I can do a little bit of that. So the thing about playing high notes on the flute is this. All right. A lot of people, when they first start learning high notes on the flute, you can kind of cheat a little bit and get a high note out by just kind of blowing harder. Like I'm just getting the high note by blowing harder, but really the high note should be achieved by changing your aperture. The aperture is the hole in the middle of your lips. So if you imagine that the tip of this pencil is your aperture on the flute, and if you're playing a regular note, so let's say your air is coming out of your lips right here and hitting the outer edge right here. So you're blowing across this way, and it's hitting the outer edge. So that's for a low note. Now check it out. When you want to do a high note, you actually move your lips out like you're going to kiss the music stand. Out like ooh. And you move your aperture like a millimeter, like that. And now it's closer to the outer edge. So low note, high note. Low note, high note. Check it out. Can you see? I'm going to get really up close so you can see my aperture. And that way, even if you're going into high notes, it shouldn't mean you have to be any louder because you're not blowing any harder, right? Because it's about the placement of your lips, not how hard you're blowing. Okay? I hope that answered your question. Vibrato. I see another question coming through. Dennis, I'm going to answer this question about vibrato. Vibrato is, if you listen to a professional singer, when they sing a song, la, 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 that straight tone, a professional singer puts a little wave on the sound. La, la, la. There's like that sort of vibration or vibrato in the sound. And it's the larynx moving a little bit, or your air is pulsating a little bit. So when we play musical instruments, oftentimes we're trying to imitate the sound of the human voice. That's where it all started. So on a saxophone, we do vibrato by moving our bottom lip, jaw up and down to pulsate the reed a little bit. So say, different teachers say different things. I say wah, 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 or ya, 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 ya. First you just try it out like that, and then you sort of fine tune it so it sounds prettier. Yeah, 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 yeah. So that's basically how you work on vibrato. We use, flute is different. Flute, you don't move your jaw. You pulsate your air. Like say, hoo, 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 hoo. The secret to learning vibrato is you practice it slowly first. Ya, 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 and then you gradually speed it up as you practice it. All right, Baker Street on the alto sax. I'm trying to remember how this one goes. And then Tibby wants to know what you do if you get your keys stuck. So Dennis, maybe you could remind me, that question's been coming through?
Yep.
Okay. Baker Street. Oh geez, what key is this in? Hold on. Let me look it up. This is what I do, guys. Every time I try to figure out a song, I always just go to YouTube and look for the song so I can listen to it. So here's Baker Street. Let's check it out. Is this it?
Yeah.
Can you guys hear that? Yep. When does the sax solo come in? Now? That's it. All right, I got it. Because I knew I learned this one before. All right, so you start on a D with the octave key. And then he does a glissando up to the high D. And then it's a C sharp, B, A, B, C sharp, B. So, can you see that? I'll back up. Vibrato. F sharp. There you go. Baker Street. Done. And maybe I could do a video on that if you didn't catch all those notes. So there you go. Let's see, guys. We are actually just about time to wrap up. Dennis, yes?
He's stuck on the alto sax.
Oh, keys stuck in the alto sax. So what that usually is, guys, careless whisper, yes. Maybe I'll get to careless whisper. Keys stuck on the alto sax or any saxophone is usually just a matter of you need to clean the pads because they get sticky. So one trick that I was taught by the older musicians when I was just learning how to play is they said you take a dollar bill and you put it under your key. This is if you're like out playing a concert and you don't have materials, you just grab a dollar bill and you go the key here and you press down the key and kind of pull it through so it kind of cleans off the pad. So that's usually, if you've got a stuck key, that's probably what it is. Unless you dropped it and you bent something, then you have to bring it to a repair shop, okay? Yeah, Cringe Master, we talked about Altissimo another week, last week I think, but Altissimo is basically when you squeak on purpose with special fingerings to play high notes. So the easiest Altissimo note to get first is like I'll do it on tenor because Shivani's asking me to play tenor. So one of the easiest Altissimo notes is a high A. And with that, you do a D with the octave key and you lift up your first finger. So you're going for this note. So that's a high A altissimo or a high B flat. C, D. So to get good at altissimo, you have to work on your overtones and your embouchure. So that went by really quickly. What I want to do is I'm just going to, Dennis, was there any other questions that were like coming up a lot that I wasn't getting to?
No.
No? Okay. So I know you guys had a lot of great questions today. I'll do a quick careless whisper because I just saw that again. Check out my video on that. I teach you how to play it on alto sax. So as I always do before we check out today, why don't you guys check in, let me know where you're watching from. I'll do some shout outs. And make sure you follow me on Instagram, Dr. Selfridge, and Twitter and all that jazz. Hi Selena, thank you. How about you check in? Lucastrophe is in Minnesota. Let me know where you guys are watching from. Einstein is in Colorado. Tibby is in England. Hello. Louisiana, Darker Studios is in Louisiana. Tornado, hi. is in West Virginia, New York. Oh, going by fast now. Zept is in Romania. I have to answer this question, and it's Dennis. So this is a little bit of special pleading here, but we have a user whose name is Dr. Selfridge is the best. So I have to answer this question. Can you answer my question, please? What is your favorite instrument? What is your favorite song to play? All right. My favorite instrument is saxophone. That's the one I play the most. My favorite song to play is... I have so many favorite songs. I just played tenor. I think probably Pink Panther is one of my favorite, and I just played that for you. So there is your answer for Dr. Selfridge is the best. So thank you all for watching in. Love to have you guys. We'll be back again next week. If you're celebrating Father's Day, today is Father's Day in the United States. So we want to say hi to all of our dads. I actually just put a special post on our high school band Facebook post thanking our dads who help us out with the band every week. So very, very happy about Father's Day and thankful for all of our dads. So thank you all for watching, guys. I'm going to check out now. Hello, Russia. And I'll be back next week. It's summertime. We're done school, but I'm going to be here every week with more live streams. So thank you all, guys, for watching. Appreciate it. And I'll see you next week. Make sure you take those instruments home this summer and you practice. Okay. Dennis, thank you.
Oh, you're very